got one of these and don't want to cool this.
Hi there. No matter whether you live in a cold or a warm climate, you probably have an appliance to heat or cool your home. Could be it an air conditioning unit, a heat pump, a space heater, or something else. If such a device is heating or cooling a room and you open a door or a window, guess what? This appliance will try to fight the air being let in by increasing or heating its cooling effect. This will, of course, waste power, cost you money, in addition to some extra wear on your appliance. With some clever programming, however, of your smart home, this can be avoided, and I will show you how.
I will demonstrate this using my own home as an example, and in my case, this involves the following components. My smart home is primarily set up in Apple HomeKit, and all the devices shown here integrate natively into HomeKit and can be programmed there. In addition, I have a Homebridge server set up on a Synology NAS, and in Homebridge I have set up something called a virtual delay switch that then integrates into HomeKit and is utilized in the programming that I will show you shortly. So what do we want this automation to do for us? Well, the heating or cooling device is running, just doing its thing. Then when one or several doors or windows are opened, the heating or cooling device should turn off automatically to save energy. When all the doors and windows have been closed, the device should turn back on again automatically. A bit more advanced, if you just open a door or window briefly to go out, the device should stay on unless the door or window remains open for a longer period. Since the native Home app, at least per now, only allows setting up rules with simple trigger action combinations, I have used the controller for HomeKit app, but also the Eve app and other apps allow this. These make it possible to define one or more trigger events, one or more conditions, and one or more scenes to be activated. First, one rule for the kitchen window and the conservatory skylight. If either of these opens, no conditions, the heat pump just turns off. In the Home app, it looks like this. You don't really see the full functionality, but it works. Then there is one routine for the patio doors. If either of these open up, the aforementioned heat pump delay switch turns on to avoid that the heat pump just turns off if we are going through the door for some reason. In the Home app, it looks like this. Either door opens, the heat pump delay switch turns on. What happens next is that after 60 seconds, the delay switch turns off, and that triggers a new rule. This rule checks whether either of the doors and even the windows are still open. If yes, the heat pump turns off. If no, the heat pump remains on. I should mention that this delay turn-off functionality was initially set up in a shortcut in HomeKit. That avoided the need for this Homebridge delay switch, but I found that the programming was far easier using the delay switch. But if you don't have or want to set up Homebridge, you can use a shortcut instead. The final piece of the puzzle is one last routine. This checks whether one of the doors or windows have been closed. Then, as a condition, checks whether all the other windows or doors are closed, and if that is the case, the heat pump, which was off, is then turned on again. The two scenes that are triggered, heat pump to heat and heat pump to off, have simply been programmed in HomeKit like this. So, that's it. What might sound like a complicated scenario to set up can actually quite easily be programmed. In our house, these rules work flawlessly and no doubt saves us significant amounts of energy. I hope this can be an inspiration to you, and don't hesitate to get in touch if you have any questions or suggestions.